Hi guys, it's Didi here, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how you can transition to healthier eating habits. I've been asked many times throughout the years how did I transition myself, because my diet used to be very poor. I've been struggling with food for a pretty long time before I found out the way to eat as I eat now, and I'm most definitely not perfect. I also tend to fall off the wagon, and I have periods of times when I go back to unhealthy eating habits. But overall, my diet is much healthier now. There are a few things that helped me in my process, and I'm hoping that they will be helpful for you too. Before I share those with you though, I just need to touch upon why transitioning to a healthier diet is so hard. It's harder for a few reasons, and if you are aware of these reasons, it would probably make it easier for you when you know what obstacles are on the way. The first one is the change of a habit. Habits run our day-to-day behavior. It is very hard to eradicate a habit. In fact, if you read The Power of Habit, you'll find out that scientifically it's almost impossible to replace a bad habit. So it's easier to replace it rather than eradicate it. The second thing is that we are not really sure what to believe. If you deep down believe that certain diet is so much healthier for you, probably you have the internal motivation and inspiration to eat that way. But what happens is nowadays we have this diet and that diet and another diet, and we'll decide upon one diet and one way of eating, and then we'll meet a friend and they'll say, no, I just saw this movie on this channel and they said that this is not good or that it's not good. So we're so confused that we're not sure what to believe in, and we just do nothing. The third one, I think, is the most significant one. Quite often we eat not because we are hungry, but because there is an emotional need that we need to fulfill. We eat because we are seeking love, comfort, we have anxiety to deal with, we are procrastinating upon something. There are psychological reasons for us turning towards food. And I think that deep down that's the one that once you're able to work on it, the life and the change to a much better, healthier diet would be by far easier. That said, dealing with these psychological reasons for us trying to reaching out for food, I think it's the hardest one to tackle. So still I'll give you my simple steps that helped me before I even dived into the psychological reasons for eating. Next one is that we follow certain patterns. When we are with certain friends, we tend to eat the way we've always been eating with them. With certain people, we'll overeat, with other people, we'll be healthier, and it takes time to break these patterns and become more conscious about them when we want to change something as significant as our diet. And the last one is marketing. Every newspaper you open, or a magazine, or even on the trucks that are on the street now, there are images of food. So food is all around us, and we cannot even forget about it because it's appealing. We want to try it, we want to taste it. Once you know all these things that are possibly on your way, then you can start with some simple things that can help you for your transitioning to a healthier diet. First thing is create a new daily routine, something that would work specifically for you. And this is where self-awareness comes from. You need to know what normally works for you, because people are different. For example, for me, it's much easier to exclude a whole food group than to implement certain rules, such as I can eat chocolate only until 4 o'clock during the day, or I can eat 6 days pretty healthy, on the 7th day I can binge. This is me personally. There are people who are much more balanced in their way and approach to food, so see what works for you and start with that, having it as an initial data baseline. Second one is simplify. I cannot stress upon how much simplifying has helped me on my journey, and all my friends around me who have transitioned as well, they've been doing that on a very small steps, simplifying, because changing your habit in something as big as food, which takes so much of your time on a daily basis, is hard on its own. You don't want to get overwhelmed with learning about new food groups or about learning about new spices and how you can cook different things, so keep it as simple as possible. There are a few rules that can help you with that. First is just eat whole food. Cut everything that it's not whole food. And whole foods are easy to be recognized if you don't know what we mean by that. It's the food that does not need label, and fruits and veggies and fish and meat if you're not vegetarian or vegan. So there are lots of foods that you go and buy as they look like, as they've been taken from the ground or as they've been taken from the source rather than packaged foods. So everything that is in a package, just avoid for a while. Second is take 5 to 10 very easy recipes, maybe about 7 if you want to start small. Find them, use Pinterest if you want to, or print them out, or buy the books, or take an image, and really concentrate on these 5 to 7 recipes. Very easy to make. What I did, for example, for someone who has not been into cooking before, especially before Mika was born, it was really overwhelming for me to start to learn how to cook, and especially to buy different spices and things that I've never heard before. So it was much easier to find 5 things that work, and this was my daily routine. So these are the things that I'll eat more often. The first thing is try at least for the first 10 days to increase the amount of sleep you get, because what happens is when we don't get enough sleep, you tend to overeat, and there is physiological reasons for that. There are 2 hormones that regulate the hunger, the ghrelin and leptin, and the ghrelin is what gives us the signal that we're hungry, and the leptin decreases the appetite. So what happens when we don't get enough sleep is the amount of ghrelin goes up, so we tend to overeat. In the same way, we need to take a little bit longer pauses when we are very hungry and we eat food. We still may think that we are hungry, but the signal that gets to the brain that our stomach is already full or half full takes some time to get there, so it takes about 20 minutes. So slowing it down will help us a lot. Another thing which is super simple and we still don't do it is increase the amount of drinking water. Most people are suffering from dehydration, and we read about drink more water, but in fact it's so hard to do it. I don't even know why. It's hard for me as well. I know I need to drink more water and I keep forgetting to drink more water. So do something that works for you. Either set up your alarm, or what works for me best is I just carry a bottle of water with me, which reminds me every time when I open my bag that, oh, I have forgotten to drink water, so it's time to have. Next one, which I think it's really important, is learn, if you have to, by heart, some scripts that you can use with friends and families when you want to go to a transition to a healthier diet, because the chances are that they will sabotage you. And this happened to me so many times, every time when I do different sort of a change, whether it's my diet or something else, and it doesn't come from a bad heart or it doesn't come from a bad negative place. It comes quite often from a place of love or from a place of anxiety. People want to see you the way they've always seen you before. So learning something automatically and never going into the details, explaining to them why you're doing that, actually will save you lots of effort. So maybe you can tell them something such as, do not tell them that that's something which is a lifestyle for you. Do not even think about it as a lifestyle change, because then you put so much pressure on yourself. And last one is to create few rules that are going to support you in the process of transitioning. For example, if normally when you watch TV you eat, then maybe you can say, okay, I'm not gonna watch TV for a few days so that I don't go back to eating mindlessly in front of the TV. Or if you know that every time when you have a stressful day and you're stressed at work, you just get up and go to the fridge, maybe you can say, okay, next time when I get stressed, what are the things that I can do, so you know in advance. There was this beautiful meditation that I purchased from Deepak Chopra and Oprah called Shedding the Weight, and there he stressed upon the importance of mindfulness, of being aware of the actions that we take, because what happens with us is we just mindlessly go to the refrigerator, we open it up, and we start eating when we're needing comfort, or we're stressing out about something, or when we're anxious, even when we had dinner just an hour ago. So definitely it's not for hunger reasons. And he said, next time when you do that, just open the refrigerator and ask yourself, what am I hungry exactly for right now? What I am hungry for right now? It's not the food, apparently it's something else. So what is it? And he said, then if you still feel like you want to eat the snack, go and eat it and don't judge yourself. I think one of the reasons why we so often fail when we try to do something which we haven't done before is because we start beating ourselves upon it. So even if you go and eat the snack, or even if you cannot really transition to the diet exactly the way you envision it in the beginning, beating yourself up, it's not going to help. So insert a little bit of mindfulness and create new rules that can help you, and write a list of the things that you can do instead. Last one that I almost forgot, for me was the most important by all, just because I'm someone who eats all the time. There are people who never snack, but I literally snack every 2 hours. Figure out your snacks. If you want to transition to a different diet, most often the snack is cakes or muffins or something sweet. If you can get into a habit of carrying with you different sort of snacks, such as carrot with hummus or olives or almonds or celery sticks, or even cottage cheese, whatever your diet allows you to do, then make sure you stock up on that and you carry it with you everywhere, because this will make a huge difference in your success or lack of success. I don't want to say failure, because it's not a failure. So that's it from me, my friends. I hope that these simple tips and steps will help you in your journey if you decide to take this journey. If you like this video and you find it helpful, please share it with your friends. And please leave me a comment. What are certain things that worked for you in the past when you transitioned to a healthier diet? It would be good to share these tips with other people who are on their journey, and I always look forward to reading your comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Easy peasy. Tastes. There are tastes when you walk. That's great. You're rambling on such simple things. I don't get it. It's been crazy to record this video, guys. The things I do for you. Right. It's like easy peasy. Keep it. That's it. I'm stuck. I'm not stuck. I don't know, because I'm trying to say it. I know what I want to say, but then I think that's actually not the point. The point should be different, because easy peasy.